The innocent Jesus, Matthew 27, 1-4. Early in the morning, all the chief priests and the elders of the people came to the decision to put Jesus to death. They bound him, led him away, and handed him over to Pilate, the governor. When Judas, who had betrayed him, saw that Jesus was condemned, he was seized with remorse and returned the 30 silver coins to the chief priests and the elders. "I have sinned," he said, "for I have betrayed innocent blood."
Judas was working to his own agenda. He thought he could play Jesus. He was a man who liked to be in control. As Jesus is handed over, he has an epiphany moment. His scheming has betrayed an innocent man.
Hard hearts betray Jesus. Our desires, our plans, our need to be in control hammers nails into the hands of Jesus. Look at the map representing how we like to plan our journey through life. God has a better way if we will surrender our way to Him. Perhaps we can simply pray, "Have your way, Lord."
The Confident Jesus, John chapter 19, verses 4-11. Once more Pilate came out and said to the Jews, "Look, I am bringing him out to you to let you know that I find no basis for a charge against him." When Jesus came out wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe, Pilate said to them, "Here is the man." As soon as the chief priests and their officials saw him, they shouted, "Crucify! Crucify!" But Pilate answered, "You take him and crucify him. As for me, I find no basis for a charge against him." The Jews insisted, "We have a law, and according to that law he must die because he claimed to be the Son of God." When Pilate heard this, he was even more afraid, and he went back inside the palace. "Where do you come from?" he asked Jesus. But Jesus gave him no answer. "Do you refuse to speak to me?" Pilate said. "Don't you realize I have power either to free you or to crucify you?" Jesus answered, "You would have no power over me if it were not given to you from above."
Pilate was confident in the authority invested in him, yet that confidence was brought into question by the baying crowd. As he turns to Jesus, one man utterly shatters all pretense of confidence. God alone is the source through who all power and authority is derived. Jesus knew all things would work out for his good because his all-powerful Father was in control.
We can put our confidence in all manner of people and things, yet they're all misplaced if they're not in God. Look at the nail, imagine its strength. Perhaps we can simply declare, "In you I trust."
The prophetic Jesus, Luke 23, verse 26-29. As they led him away, they seized Simon from Cyrene, who was on his way in from the country, and put the cross on him and made him carry it behind Jesus. A large number of people followed him, including women who mourned and wailed for him. Jesus turned and said to them, "Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me. Weep for yourselves and for your children. For the time will come when you will say, 'Blessed are the barren women, the wombs that never bore, and the breasts that never nursed.'"
Jesus saw the big picture. Children would not incline their hearts towards Jesus as their parents did. It would be devastating for their parents.
Perhaps there are members of our family whose hearts are hard towards Jesus. It causes us great pain because we want them to see eternity. Look at the plasticine, often very hard to mould, but after a while it becomes more malleable. Perhaps we can simply pray, "Soften their hearts, Lord."
The forgiveness of Jesus. Luke chapter 23, verses 32 to 34. 2 other men, both criminals, were also led out with him to be executed. When they came to the place called the Skull, there they crucified him, along with the criminals, one on his right, the other on his left. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." And they divided up his clothes by casting lots.
Jesus had collapsed under his ordeal. A stranger had been mercilessly pressed into carrying his cross. More humiliation, more torture, more pain. All Jesus could think of was forgiving them. He wanted nothing they did to count against them.
Unforgiveness wounds the heart. Carrying offence with people leaves us scarred. Jesus' heart was free from defect because he forgave. Forgiveness is one of the great challenges, but also urgent necessities. Look at the water poured out. Perhaps we can simply pray, "Let forgiveness flow."